What are Bo Nix's goals, and more specifically, where's his head at when it comes to the Super Bowl chase? This is your Denver Sports Daily for August 8th.
The biggest stories, the latest news. It's Denver Sports Daily.
Happy Friday, everyone. It's a very happy Friday because we are only 1 day away from the Broncos' first preseason game of the 2025-26 season. It is so close. The NFL season is right around the corner. And of course, we know that during this time, all these reporters and everybody are getting questions into the Broncos staff, the Broncos locker room. All of these players and people around this team are answering different kinds of questions that everybody has. And Bo Nix yesterday was targeted for some of those questions. And he was asked if winning a Super Bowl is the goal. And he responded saying, quote, "It should be your goal too. We should all be wanting to go win a Super Bowl. If we're not trying to win a Super Bowl, why are we here?" That's exactly right. Why are you in the NFL if you're not trying to win a Super Bowl? There's no excuse for not wanting to win at the highest level. If you're playing at the highest level in any sport, your goal is to win at the highest level as well. And Bo Nix seems to have that same mentality, the mentality of the greats, the mentality of the people who just want to win. There's nothing that when you watch Bo Nix lets you think in any other direction than he wants to win. All that you see when Bo Nix is on the field is a winning mentality. He then went on, quote, "If you're not trying to be the best of the best in your particular area, ours in the NFL, the National Football League, I believe that's why you go out there and play the game." And you go out there to play the game to win. You don't go out there just to go 9-8. You don't do that. You won't hear anybody around the league say, we want to win 9 games this season. Sure, hey, you might want to be positive in the records. You might want to have an over 500 standing or winning percentage, but that's not the goal anymore for the Broncos. The Broncos have surpassed that. They've already done that. They went to the playoffs last season, and once you go to the playoffs, the Super Bowl chase is on. Now, there's no sign of anything in this locker room other than the fact that they want to win a Super Bowl. Sean Payton commented multiple times saying, they want to win the division. That's their first goal, and that's very possible this season. I was just talking about yesterday about how the Chiefs aren't really a factor as much as they used to be. They could be third in the division this season. The Broncos have a prime opportunity to go out there and steal the division, and that's what their head needs to be on right now. That's where they need to be looking. But not only that, they need to be looking towards the Super Bowl as well. Now, not only did Bo Nix talk about the Super Bowl as he just did there, but he also responded to Sean Payton's comments from last week, where Sean Payton said that he was a top 5 quarterback in the league, or he could be within the next 2 years. And Bo said, well, first, it's good to have a coach that believes in you, but also if he believes that, then I need to go. I know that I've got a lot to work to do out there. Now, clearly, Bo Nix has never been the guy who's going to go and brag. He's not going to be the guy that says, I know I can be the 5th or top 5 quarterback in the year. Every time you hear something like this about Bo Nix, the first thing that you'll hear out of his mouth is, well, I've got to work to get there. That's the kind of mentality that Bo Nix brings, a working mentality, a winning mentality. There's so many things that you could talk about with just Bo Nix's mentality because it leads this locker room to winning. It does. And with that comes a possibility to be a top 5 quarterback in the league. I don't doubt that he can be a top 5 quarterback in the league within the next 2 years. And that says a lot because we've got players like Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow. You've got those guys in the league dominating right now at the quarterback position. And Bo Nix has a very good opportunity to be up there with those names. I could definitely see that. Now, Bo Nix went on saying, quote, "I don't want to let that work go to void. I want to give my best shot at going out there and doing that. Not just obviously for him, but for our team, for this organization, but for myself as well." Again, the media training on this guy's insane. He's not talking about being top 5 just because he wants to be top 5. He wants to be a top 5 quarterback because he's making his team better if he is. If he's a top 5 quarterback, that's because his team is going out there and winning. What more can you ask from a guy like Bo Nix? He's got a winning mentality. He's got a team mentality, team first. And if you're a quarterback that's not team first, you're not going to be successful. There's not very many quarterbacks that are all about themselves that end up succeeding in the league. Just to bring it back a couple years, we look at Johnny Manziel in college. He's kind of an all by himself guy. Love the guy, Johnny Football, But still, did it work out in the NFL? No. That's why Bo Nix is succeeding right now, is because he's not doing anything for himself. He's doing everything for the team. Everything he does, every time he steps back in the pocket, every time he hands the ball off to the running back, it's for his team. It is for success. It is not for his stats. It is not for him to succeed. It is for the team overall to go to the Super Bowl, to continue improving, and to ultimately win. And that, what more can you ask from a guy like Bo Nix? What more can you ask from? Now, moving on, the Broncos play their first preseason game tomorrow. Now, the Broncos will play their first preseason game against the San Francisco 49ers after hosting a joint practice with them for a good chunk of this week. And, you know, those joint practices are great for a lot of reasons. You get a lot of good opportunities to go against people who you're not seeing every day, because when you're just doing training camp with your team and your team only, not much growth can happen there because you're not seeing anything outside of the norm. But going and playing people like the 49ers, that's where you get a good opportunity to get some real growth in training camp. And it's also a good opportunity to see what these rookies are looking like, just in practice situations. See what the rookies look like. See how they're playing against other people that they haven't, you know, gotten to see as much since they came to the league. And all of that is great just in training camp. But now in a preseason game too, you'll really get an opportunity to see what the rookies look like in a game time situation. And not only the rookies, but the new additions to the team, like Talanoa Hufanga and Dre Greenlaw, who not only came to this team in the offseason, but they came from the San Francisco 49ers. So they're getting a chance to go back and play against their former teammates. Now we'll also get to see J.K. Dobbins and Evan Ingram probably take the field. We don't know how much playing time they'll get. I'd assume they'd only be in for one, maybe two drives at most. Even Dre Greenlaw, I don't know if he'd even play because he was dealing with a slight injury in training camp. But those guys, getting them out on the field, seeing what they'll look like, the real first unit, getting them out there, getting a few reps, it'll be good to see. And it's always what the preseason's about. I mean, there's no real big opportunity here for anything. It's just preseason. You're not doing anything outstanding, but you are getting to go out there and play in a real game time situation in Levi's Stadium. You're playing in a full stadium for the first time in the offseason. It's just a good get your toes in the water, especially for the rookies and the new additions to this team. Now, the Broncos are heading into the game tomorrow as 6-point favorites, and kickoff is at 6:30 p.m. Very exciting to see. Football season is already here. I cannot believe it. Really the best time of the year. But that'll do it for your Denver Sports Daily. Do you want to read some of your comments? Happy Friday, Joey. Bo Nix has a few good points. He always has great points. I mean, Bo Nix is amazing when those cameras and microphones get in front of him. Everything he says, how can you not be a fan of him? Like, you talk about mentality. I can't, take a drink for how many times I've said that today, but his mentality is incredible. And the way that he builds his team up like nobody else is just the kind of thing you want to see from your sophomore quarterback. He's out there. He's a sophomore quarterback talking like a veteran. He's great. Joey Gunner sucks. Thank you, Stony Neff. Thanks for watching. That'll do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I will be back with you guys again on Monday, recapping this huge preseason game tomorrow. I can't believe that we're finally here in the preseason. It's really, it's getting here. NFL season is almost here. We're only 30-some days away from the first game of the NFL season. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. But that'll do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I'll be back with you guys again tomorrow. Until then, y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye, y'all.